So for the third step, in terms of solving problems in MIMR, in this case, after reviewing the example test cases and noting similarities and differences, you might also try and write a novel test case. So what if you were to imagine MIMR providing a different set of input values? What would those input values look like? And then based on those input values, what would you expect would be the output? So I've listed one example here. So again, to do this, you'll have to complete step 2. Take a look at the example test cases that are provided. Then, either using pen and paper or in IntelliJ as just a comment, you might want to list here, imagining if you had a different set of input values, what might those input values look like? Well, we know that the first set of input values are 2 strings, right? So first name or last name, as in Giuliano Franz. Here we have a certain set of integers, and you might have noticed from the examples, the integers tend to be of the same length. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 integers that are provided there. Maybe different in terms of their actual values, but the length seems to be consistent across all the examples, which is interesting. You might want to rely on that information later on in terms of solving the problem. Floating point numbers, we always have 2 sets, and the length, there's always 2 decimal points at the very end of those floating point numbers. In terms of the stated output, well, for the first problem, the last name always seems to be included at the very end, separated by a space from the first name, separated by a space, followed by this string. And then in terms of the product ID, so that's listed here, the actual cost of the item there, and then 10.0 would be the cash amount. All right. So imagining a set of input and output values will kind of force you to kind of simulate all the steps that are involved in terms of the processing task that you're trying to recreate in terms of writing your program. And in terms of reading the problem prompt, if you notice while you're doing so that you're not really clear on something or maybe confused, don't hesitate to reach out to either myself or TA for any additional information that we can help you in terms of disambiguating what's included within the problem prompt.